He was like, that wasn't me who you had sex with. And I'm like, I'm like confused. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of demonic shit is this? Oh, honey. I'm like, what you mean? So it was a demon, honey? That fucked me, honey? Do you wanna like sell your soul? Like to Satan? You know, for him to grant you
all your desires.
Yo, what is poppin'? It is your girl, Morgan DuPont, back at it again with another video, honey. Today is gonna be a story time. As you guys probably can tell from the title of this video, honey, things are gonna get a little dark, honey, so viewers discretion is advised. Also, I want to mention, like, this story I've only told to maybe like 3 humans before, so this is like an exclusive, y'all. This is like an exclusive story. Stop playing. So subscribe. Stop playing. Subscribe right now. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Thank you for being here. So without further ado, let's get right into the story time. First and foremost, I just want to say there is no such thing as selling your soul to the devil. Your soul belongs to God. I'm not trying to be Joyce Myers and TD Jakes up in this bitch trying to give y'all a sermon and preach to y'all, but our souls belong to us. Our souls belong to the higher being, the creator. My soul is still intact, honey. It's still intact. It's still here. It's still connected to the higher white light, honey. I'm not for the dark, low vibrational shit, honey. But I just want to put that out there. Getting to the story. So this was, I would say, I was 18, 19 years old, around there. I was living in a group home in Brooklyn and Williamsburg, to be exact. I was looking for a way to make money, honey, and you know, I was young, and you know, all the trans girls, honey, around me would pull dates, meaning they would hoe, honey, 304s, whatever you call them, honey. They were selling it, honey, for the coin, honey. So the only way I could really make money when I was in a group home was doing chores. For each chore, you get paid like $1. It started at 50 cents, and then it went up to $1. So you're like busting your ass, mopping and sweeping a whole entire room for $1, honey. But you know, when you do a lot of it and it starts adding up, honey, and at least you have a roof over your head and a limited supply of food, honey, it did what it needed to do, but it wasn't enough, especially for a girl who is just starting to transition. And you know, to get my look right, to get my nails right, to get everything right, honey, the hair and boot money wasn't enough that we would get, honey. The shore money wasn't enough, honey. So I was like, you know, I started to contemplate, I started to think, like, should I hoe? At the time, I was working off of Craigslist, honey. She was a Craigslist hoe, honey. Oh, no. Remember, y'all, like, for those who know, there was a section called romantic encounters. It's free to post an ad, etc. And you know, I was $100 hoe, honey. She was getting fucked for $100. At the time, honey. I didn't know better, but I was young and I needed some quick coin, honey. I had posted my first ad. I was super nervous and super scared because I'd never done such a thing. And I would have to do out calls. I couldn't do in calls because I was living in a group home. You know, I can't bring a date to the group home, honey. So I would have to commute to the person, or car dates, get inside the car, do what I need to do, honey. Use these beef suckers, honey, to get my coin. This one guy, he hits me up, super duper sweet, super nice, super charismatic. Yeah, I was like, you know what, let me do this. Let's do this. You know, he was gonna take me to a hotel, pay for the hotel, he was gonna pay me my fee, honey, and that was that. Yeah, we decided to link up. I meet with this guy. He's not conventionally attractive. Like, I don't find him attractive. He's like a Pakistani man. Not that being Pakistani has anything to do with attraction, because I find Middle Eastern men to be very beautiful, but he wasn't my type at all. But he was so sweet, and I think he could tell by my nerves and just like my demeanor, that this was like a first time for me. I feel like he was being gentle and just sweet and understanding, and eventually like I warmed up to him and I started vocalizing like how this is like a first time for me, and I started to give like the struggle story of like, I'm in the group home, honey, and I just, you know, I need some help. I need some, you know, honey, because she's trying to have her Julia Roberts moment, honey, with a pretty woman, honey. A rich man can sweep me off my feet or something, change my life, honey, for the better, because the struggle is real. He was really sweet. The hotel was really nice. It almost like gave me Versace vibes, like just from the carpeting to the bed sheets and like everything. I don't know, it was like really nice. I don't know exactly the name of the hotel, but it was a nice hotel. We had sex. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. Like, it was like, I felt like this man was making love to me, honey. Like, he was, yeah, I don't know. It was nice. He gave me my payment, and then he gave me also like a tip. He was like, you know, he's gonna definitely see me again. And I'm just like, okay, I was hyped. I'm like, oh my God, this is what it is, honey. You get nailed, honey, to the fucking bed, honey, and you get your money, honey, and that seemed like light work, honey. So in my head I'm thinking like, oh, this is it for me, honey. She's gonna be a hoe. So I saved his number and everything. I'm like, oh, I got a regular now, like, check me out, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, he want to see me again, honey. His puss was good. This bussy was it, honey. So then, you know, I remember getting into the car with him, and you know, we were on our way to another telly, and you know, we would have like these like deep conversations, and I don't know, we would be talking, and I noticed he had like a Freemason ring. I don't know if you ever seen like those rings like that Freemasons have. It's like, you know, I think with the A, with the triangle, whatever. He had a Freemason ring, honey. And what was that for, honey? I noticed that, honey, and I was just like, oh, honey, my dreams are gonna come true. My life is gonna change, honey. I just met somebody in the Illuminati, honey. Girl, I'm thinking all these things, girl. Young, stupid, honey, and thirsty. I started to ask him about like Freemasonry, about his ring and everything, and like, I don't know, I noticed like a light sparked in him. He was just like, yeah, you know, that he's a part of, I guess, this community, this organization, and you know, he was telling me like minuscule stuff, like little stuff, but I felt like he was withholding a lot of information, and like he didn't want to tell me too much. And him doing that made me wanna know more, honey. Curiosity killed the cat, honey. Don't be doing that, honey. Don't be doing that, honey, because I have a lot of questions, honey. I have a lot of questions, and I have a lot of curiosity, and I want to know, honey, what's the secret within the society. He takes me to the hotel. We did what we did. I don't know, like, it was so weird. Like, I felt like really connected to this guy. Like, I felt really connected. Like, we had sex and it was great again. This time I felt even more intense and felt more like I don't know, kind of just like, yo, what's going on with this man? Who is this man, honey? So we get back in the car. He basically starts opening up to me, telling me that he is a Satanist, honey. He tells me that his father is like a high priestess in the Satanist church or whatever. So I'm like, oh, honey, you're praying to the devil, honey. That's what you believe in? Oh, I'm like, okay. And the reason why he mentioned it was because he started, like, it was a gateway into the conversation of sex magic. And he basically admitted to me that he's been having sex magic with me. And that for the next time that he sees me, like, would I like oblige and like, you know, volunteer myself in the name of ritualistic sex. And I was just like, okay, because I'm just like this is some shit. I'm like, Richard, what, honey? Things you've never seen. You know that I can make you believe in love is sex and magic. So now, like, I'm asking him questions, but then, you know, like, I'm also telling him, oh, but you don't believe in God, you don't believe, like, you don't know God and whatever. And like, I don't know, he, like, when I'll talk about God, he'll get flustered and a little like annoyed. He was acting really weird. Like, he didn't want to talk about God, and he started talking about how I could be my own God, and that people demonize Satanism when it's all really just a self-loving way, like being your own God, doing whatever you want to do because it's your life, like being your master, being your everything. And you know, I was like, okay, that sounds cute, honey. Like, I've been conditioned at a very young age to know of God, to Jesus to be exact, honey. I was a born again Christian. That's what I was born in. And although like I'm not your typical Christian person and I'm a fucking tranny, honey, I don't go to church, honey, but I definitely do have a relationship with God, and I do believe in God, and I always have had that faith within me, whether I knew it consciously or subconsciously. So when he was talking about the devil, honey, I was like, oh, but what about God, honey? And you know, we'll kind of, but then I started to like kind of shut up a little bit because I'm like, yo, this guy seems like a powerful guy. Like, who is this guy, honey? I'm like, he's a Freemason, honey. Let me get with it, honey. So, honey, he starts kind of touching me, honey, touching my thighs and getting all riled up again. And then I look at him like, oh, honey, like, you know, we already like did our thing. Like, you trying to do it again? Because, you know, honey, it ain't gonna be free. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, honey, you want to give me another 100, honey? So I was kind of confused. I'm like, yeah, we just had sex, honey. You horny again? Okay. I mean, if I do it that much for you, you know. And he looks at me and he was like, that wasn't me who you had sex with. And I'm like, I'm like confused. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of demonic shit is this? Oh, honey. Oh, you fucking shapeshifter motherfucker. What the fuck? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I blacked out. He said, I wasn't there. It wasn't me who had sex with you. And I'm like, so it was a demon, honey? That fucked me, honey? Honey? And he's like, yeah, that it was a spirit that came onto him, but like that he still has the craving, and can we please have sex? Like, you know, he wants to have sex with me. Yada yada yada. I was just kind of like, like, I don't know. It was kind of like a little creepy, like, you know, the way he was coming off. He was coming off like he was really a different person. Like, he had a multiple personality disorder, and I was just like, it was just a different. It felt like it was a different person in his body, and I'm like, oh, okay, next time. So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so conflicted. I'm like, Lord Jesus, honey, please forgive me for my sins, protect me from this evilness or whatever it is. And then on the other side, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is some crazy ass shit. Like, I feel supernatural, honey. I feel like extraterrestrial, honey. It's giving ET, honey. It's giving cult. It's giving secret society. It's giving, you know, like powerful. I don't know. Just like, I'm such a weird bitch. This day we were just like, he was driving more than usual, like after we did what we did, and I guess just to like talk to me more and have more conversation and whatnot. I think we might have gotten a bite too. No, he starts telling me like, you know, how, oh, he's a very powerful man. I just want to say, listen, moving forward in this story, I know that people are gonna be like, yo, this bitch is a cap, she's capping, or she lying, or she making this shit up. Because I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like some science fictional shit, but like, I have no reason to lie. Like, if y'all want fiction stories, honey, I could sit there and try to make some stories up and try to story tell that way. But all my story times have always come from real place and from real stories. So this one is not the exception. Believe whatever you want to believe, honey. If you don't believe me, then it is what it is. He's telling me that he's a very powerful man, and that like he wants to like go up the rankings of like like being a priestess. Like, he started getting aggressive. Like, he started getting like really weird behind the wheel, like getting aggressive and talking about like how, like, you know, that people fear him. He has like a little road rage moment with somebody who had passed him, and was talking all this shit, talking about like he would kill him, like he don't know his power, he don't know this, he don't know that. And I'm just like, whew, honey, the road rage be real, honey. That's a lot of anger, honey, a lot of darkness. I should have not been surprised hence he told me that he was a person of the dark world or wherever. So, but he was saying all this stuff, and then next thing you know, maybe like 5 minutes later, we're driving, but then we had to like pause and stop because there was an accident. Tell me how the accident was involving the same person that drove past him. He looks and he's like, look, it's the guy. And I look, and it's the car that he felt some sort of animosity towards. It had an accident, so you saw the cop cars coming, all this stuff, and like you saw a little smoke going on. This was like somewhere in the highway, you know. It wasn't like a huge accident, but it was some sort of accident. And I'm like, he's smirking, he's smiling, he's like, you see? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, this man is a mutant, honey. This man we got powers, honey. I was kind of a little freaked out by that because it was just like coincidentally, like how it all happened. It was just like, what the fuck? He's driving. He goes in his like compartment of his car, and he takes out this book. I think the author is Anton LaVey. Is like the he's dead now. He's no longer living, but he was like a Satan worshiper, a Satanist priest or whatever, very well known, very popular within that stratosphere. And he gave me the book. I had like rituals and chants and stuff like that inside of the book. And he gave it to me. He was like, he wants me to read it. I was like, okay, cool, like definitely, you know. I'm like, okay. I don't know. He was trying to, honey, get my soul, honey. We were talking a little more. He parks the car. I look out, you know. It's clear. And there's nothing wrong. Like, I just look outside. We're like literally at the corner, a block away from the group home that I was living in. And he shows me this book, and it had like a knife. Literally like a knife in between. And it was like a paper with like a line, like for a signature. So then he tells me, do you want to like sell your soul, like to Satan, you know, for him to grant you all your desires? He went in a whole little tangent, and I was just like, yeah, honey, shit, what the fuck do I got to lose? I was just like, okay, let's do this. So I signed my name, but I signed my boy name when I was a boy. I signed the name, and he just kept on looking at me, and I feel like he wanted me to poke my finger and to give blood, but I wasn't gonna do that. And so I looked at him, and I was just like, and he's like looking at me like, oh, like, you know, like he didn't say verbatim for me to like do it, but I could tell like he was trying to like insinuate, like he wanted me to put blood on the paper. I didn't. He's like, okay, no problem. He started being really weird, like, you know, I'm trying to be really nice to him. I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you next time. And he's like, yeah, sure. I don't know, I felt like he was mad at me, or he was not like feeling me at all. Like there was something, like his energy changed. So when I opened the door, I said that when I had looked out the window, everything was fine, I was good. When I opened the door, tell me why I bumped my head really hard on like it was like the stand post, like it was like when I tell you it was not there. When I looked the first time out the window, there was no pole, there was no nothing. I promise you, there was nothing there. Like, you know, that shit fucking hurt. And then I looked back and I closed, I kind of closed the door. I was like, okay, bye. And then like the window was open, and then he looked at me and he winked and he started laughing, like almost like an evil laugh. And then like he just drove off. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, wait, I mean, this man can't have the power to like fucking make me blind now. The way he winked at me as if that was done by him. Like, I'm telling you, I know it sounds fucking fake. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but it literally fucking happened. I went home and like I couldn't believe, like, oh my god, like I felt like I sold my soul, honey. I was like, oh, I sold my soul to the devil. I'm like, oh, honey. I'm looking at the moon. I'm looking at the stars, but it's a weird feeling within me that feels like anxious and anxiety and fear, but also excitement. I can't explain it. So I was holding on to this book, honey, and I'll read it from time to time. I'll read some of the stuff, and some of the group home residents that would see me with the book, they'd be like, yo, this bitch is fucking evil with this fucking witch. You see this bitch? But like, I threw that book out because I felt like it just wasn't for me, honey. And I'm ultimately a child of God. Yeah, like it or not, honey. So I ended up throwing out the book. And I tried contacting this guy. I wanted some answers about that day, and also I wanted to see him again. He wasn't hitting me up. He blocked me on everything. He disappeared. And it was so weird. I was so hurt. I felt like he abandoned me. Like, and I didn't even know this man like that. Well, I only see him 3 times, but I think doing that sexual shit, magic shit, whatever, like it was, creating a contract between me and the person. And it was strange because I really liked him a lot, and I was so hurt that he would just disappear, and he just disappeared. I never heard from this man ever again, ever. Throughout the book, it didn't stay too long in my room in the group home, honey. I was opening up doors to like dark entities and shit like that. And honey, like, I'm not one to religion shame or to, impose my belief systems on anybody. But for me, honey, I'm not into like any dark shit, honey. Abracadabra, evil shit. Ain't no shade. I'm not into that. That ain't of my world, honey. Maybe it was God or the universe, whomever that kept that man far, far away from me. And I was just kind of like, I was so shook by that experience because it felt almost supernatural, and like from the accident to then me hitting myself on this pole that wasn't there. I emphasize again, I'm telling you, like, it was not there before. Like, that shit was fucking, that shit was crazy, honey. She went on, honey, to reclaim her soul back, honey. I'm still poor. I still got dreams. I still got goals. But, honey, there's no such thing as really selling your soul. Yeah, metaphorically speaking, you can sell your soul by, giving too much of your time, or allowing people to, disrespect your boundaries, or, compromising your morals in order to attain something. It was a grown man who preyed on a young tranny, a young little girl, little boy, whatever you want to call it, who was curious and vulnerable. Oh man, I'm telling you, like, when I was young, honey, I wanted to be a part of the Illuminati so bad, honey. I was so fascinated, so curious, I was so in awe of like the conspiracy of it all. And I still find it very interesting to this day, but like, honey, for me to just be with the shits and be like, oh, let's do sex magic, like with this fucking man who's telling me that multiple entities are fucking me, honey, that's some shit. That's some shit, honey. That's some shit, honey. Oh. Anyway, y'all, that was the story time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have y'all ever attempted selling your soul, honey? And how was that? Give me a story. Tell me the tea. Let me know the things, honey. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. Turn on your notification bell so that you will always know when I upload. Okay? Yeah, like, stop playing. Subscribe, honey. Show some love, honey. Show some love. It's free, honey. It's not going to affect your balance on your EBT, on your food stamps, honey. If you like this video, it's not going to affect your bank account, honey. It's not going to take food off your table, honey. To leave a like, to support a tranny, honey. Trans girl, honey. So what you waiting for? Thank y'all for being here. I love y'all so much. And yeah, I'm just really appreciative. I love y'all. Until next time.
And if you want to see more of me, don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget, if you're stingy, you dingy, honey. You don't want to be dingy, so show some love. I love you. And thank you for being here.